Welcome, viewers, to another edition of iOSX Online. I'm Dave Whitby, and
I'm Scott Harrell.
We search the web to find the latest tips and tricks for iOS and OS X,
or 10,
to make your computing experience more enjoyable,
and to get the most out of your Mac and your iOS devices together.
Our mission is to share things we find that are useful and productive,
or entertaining and amusing.
All right, the next website I want to take you to is references a product that we use a lot during our collaboration, and that's Evernote. I can't really say enough about it, and this website goes into more detail than I was ever aware of. Scott, you use Evernote extensively, don't you?
Extensively is a little bit of a push because after looking at this article, I realized that I've barely scratched the surface on the functionality. It's a really great program.
I agree.
We collaborate with it, and that's been really valuable, but I think I'm going to be taking a closer look because there are a lot of things that we could do.
Agreed. I'll just go through a brief list here that they've enumerated. Tracking your time is a good way to use it. Write a note to your significant other. That might help in marital situations. Journaling. There are many other apps that do journaling, but keep it all in Evernote. Book notes. Collaboration, which is the way we use it primarily. Gift ideas, grocery list. Save articles and other interesting things for later. I do this all the time. Digital Rolodex. Tracking your finances. A weight journal. Writing a book. Did you know you can send yourself voice memos?
Now, see, that's the type of thing that is interesting to me that I wasn't even considering.
Love this one. A distraction to-do list. According to research, it takes 25 minutes to get back to work after you've been distracted online. Good grief. Kind of a negative on multitasking here. Honey-do list, another thing to get along with your wife. Insurance policies, although I like to keep these in a secure possible fashion in 1Password. A bucket list. That's interesting. Something else that was mentioned here is that you can apparently scan business cards and have optical character recognition done on it right into Evernote. You have a problem with finding things in Apple's store, iTunes Store?
iTunes Store can be very frustrating for me because, first of all, when I go there, I'm inundated with music in the genres that is of no interest to me.
I agree.
And secondly, if I'm searching for apps, there are not a lot of demos, so you get a few screen captures, but it doesn't tell you much, and the reviews that people put up generally are unreliable. So this one was a lifesaver in terms of an alternative where you can search for content, whether it's an app or even music, and then in addition to listing the product, there are sample videos that people have posted and other useful information so you could have a more informed purchasing opportunity.
And it's web accessible, both from your desktop machine and even from your iOS device.
You could call it the Google for the iTunes Store.
That's a great way to describe it. Let's actually do a live search and show people how it works.
Okay.
Give me an example of something to search for.
All right, well, I'm always out looking for apps that would help me navigate the monstrous LA traffic, so...
Let's search for traffic. Under All, here's what came up under the apps. Waze, MapQuest, Traffic Rush.
Okay, let's just go to apps.
Let's click on apps, and it should filter it further. And if we go down further, we get to SigAlert, which is the one I currently use.
I use that one. I use Waze. A couple other I'm not familiar with, so it'll be worth investigating.
Right, and it has a link to immediately go to the Apple Store to purchase it or get it if it's free. Wonderful utility here. I think that overcomes a lot of limitations in Apple searching routines. There you go. Okay.
How about something else? Like, how about mind maps?
Mind maps. Let's do it. Applications. There we go. Simple Mind
Let's
Plus.
click on Simple Mind just to see how they list the information.
Here it is.
It's got
shows a
reviews.
screenshot. Look. I love these YouTube reviews. This ought to be more valuable than stars or
absolutely. So you can
someone else.
Instead of just downloading the app to see if you actually could use it.
Right. Look at somebody who's
let
already...
someone show you, and maybe it's for you, and maybe it isn't. It's a great time saver.
Totally agree. Excellent. So, Hope you enjoy that. The next website. Oh, yes. Do you use Gmail?
Yes, I do.
Well, in Gmail, once you send something that maybe you didn't mean to send, is there an option for retrieving it?
Well, let's find out.
All right. This guy has some information for us, so let's take a look.
Wrong person, or maybe you've sent an FU email to the right person, but you rethought it after you sent it.
Uh-oh.
You can undo the sendification of an email using Gmail. Click the little gear icon in the upper right-hand corner, choose Settings, then under the Labs tab, find the Undo Send feature and click Enable. Scroll down and click Save. The next time you send a message, you'll have 10 seconds to undo it. Sendification is in Word. Are you sure? Do we have to redo the whole video? Okay.
So we have 10 seconds.
Correct. If you're using Gmail in a web browser. That functionality currently doesn't transfer over to Apple Mail, if that's where you're using it.
Correct.
But for a web-based
Well,
mail
it's
access...
good to know. If you want to get mean, then maybe rethink it.
Yes.
Try using your browser.
There you go. Okay.
Hey, by the way, let me just share a tip with you.
Sure.
When you adjusted your volume, we heard a little beep sound.
Yes.
Did you know that you can bypass that by using the Shift key and your volume up and down?
Are you kidding me? Let's try it. You're right. Look at that. There's no sound. I'm changing the volume on the computer and no beep.
That's great when you don't want to have little putt-putt sounds.
Thank you, Scott. Okay, great. All right, the next website I found is iOS-based, and it's some tips on how to make your iPhone faster.
Now, what's usually the cause of your sluggish iPhone?
I think it's overloaded with junk.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons. So, well, what actually is taking up space on the iPhone? Well, if you go to General under the Settings
Right.
and look at Usage, it sorts the applications by how much space they're taking up. Almost always, it's music and photos that comes up at the top of the list.
Except on my iPad.
Okay, which is applications probably.
Lots of apps about candy games and things. I don't even know how they got
Yeah, you sound like a family man with some kids. All right. So the suggestion here would be to go to those apps listed here at the top that are taking up the most space and start deleting content. Well, how would you do that? Well, you can delete the entire app, which will take the data with it. Or better yet, go into the app itself and start deleting parts of it because you may want to keep some. For example, the music application in particular. And this article goes through to describe exactly how to do that. Another thing that you might do is when you save your music, there are different resolutions. 256 kilobits is the highest res, and that takes up the most space. You can save music on your mobile device in a lower res, and if you're using Apple's mediocre earbuds, you may not tell the difference.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Actually, mine are all at 320.
Well, you have certain standards.
I got the golden ears
There you go.
syndrome.
Okay.
That's why I have a 64 gig phone instead
good.
of 32.
And dovetailing with that particular article on how you make your phone faster is an article found on how to delete photos from your iPhone. Well, that sounds quite simple.
It actually kind of is.
Yeah, everybody probably has seen clicking on a photo, hit the edit button, and there's a trash can. Then the delete photo. But what if you have hundreds or thousands of photos clogging up your mobile device? What's the way that you might delete them quickly without laboriously having to go through everything?
Well, first of all, I recommend that you can automatically import all your photos into your Mac's iPhoto library. And then when you have uploaded, it gives you the option to either keep or delete. When you plugged in your iPhone,
Right.
pulled up iPhoto.
Now, I could import all 82 items. Okay, the bottom line is that you will have the ability to delete photos once you've completed the import. And that's all you do. Oh, there's the dialog. It says delete the 73 items I imported off of the phone. The next application I want to talk about is a gem. Apple has a free camera app for your mobile devices called Camera. Well, here's an app called Cortex Camera, which has some significant improvements. What it does is allow you to take photographs in low light situations. because the lens on the iPhone is really quite small compared to larger cameras. It doesn't have good low light sensitivity. Here's some before.
Now, is this a new lens then?
No, it's simply software processing.
Oh.
Okay, so here's the
Do
befores.
tell.
Yeah, I will, and I'll show you some examples. And not just the sales examples. These show improvements in the quality. But now I'm going to pull up Preview and show you some examples of images that I took. This was quite early in the morning. If you notice at the top, you see a lot of green and red splotches.
It's very noisy.
Very noisy,
Pixelated.
indicating that there wasn't much light. And this was taken with the Apple camera app. Now I switched over to Cortex Cam. Look at the difference. All that splotching is gone.
Wow, that's very smooth.
Look at the difference. Very, very much improved. I think it's a $3 app. You do have to hold the camera a little bit steady because it's not an instant picture. It takes a couple of seconds for it to grab all the light and process it. It does do anti-shake to keep blurriness at a minimum, but the improvement is just such that I see it as one of the best camera apps I've ever purchased.
So it uses some image stabilization combined with maybe a multi-pass grab of the data.
Correct.
And you end up with a nice, clean, crisp, and smooth image.
Absolutely.
Impressive.
I haven't seen anything that does as good a job at this in low light situations. This product and website I came across, and I have to give thanks to Mr. Phil Goodman of our local West LA Pug user group. At his last meeting, he talked about his experience at Macworld Expo. And
I remember that.
yeah, in the past, although nobody I know has gone this year except him. And he recommended a website called reko.me. And it's a photographic-based website. What I'm going to do is pull up my iPad now. First thing you do is give it permission to analyze all the images on your local device. I didn't
So
have
it's looking at your photo library on your
only the ones on this device.
iDevice.
Right. Once it analyzes them, it automatically puts keywords. And there's my little dog, and it put it under the category of animal. It has another keyword of night images, nature pictures, sports, scenic, ocean, even images that have text in them. It also locates images by location. El Segundo, Los Angeles, Pasadena. And then you can search on any of those keywords. So let's say we type SCENIC. It limits it to that particular keyword selection. I'm now able to go in to these and scan through them relatively quickly. This is going to save so much drudgery of having to keyword all the images in your photo collection and then try and search after you've done that. So it's a good start. What I haven't found yet is a way for you to add your own custom keywords other than the ones they've automatically put in. Maybe that's coming in a future update, but at least it's a good start, and I think it's an excellent way to search for images with a minimum of coding. There's nature images.
That looks pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way,
Nice shots, Dave.
thanks. By the way, these nature images, do you know where I got them?
Actually, I do. You got those from interfacelift.com.
You're absolutely correct. It is the preeminent site
Nice.
for getting desktop images, background images for all your devices, mobile or desktop.
Gorgeous.
All right, let's move this out of the way.
Okay, their last thing is
14 of the weirdest things you could buy from Apple. All right.
according to Business Insider.
Yeah, Kyle Russell. The first one that obviously is a must for everybody who has an iPad is the $99 foosball case. Who doesn't want mini foosball? Okay.
That's just a beer accident waiting to happen.
The second item that you can buy from Apple is this wonderful Parrot AR drum, which allows you to remote control this device from your iPhone and iPad, even with a camera that records 720p video.
Where is that noise coming from?
Who's observing my poolside activities. Oh boy, a basketball with a sensor inside to help improve your shot. Don't think it's going to work, but Apple sells it.
Will that help the Lakers' free throws?
Anything would help them do that. Here's an iBaby monitor. Allows you to watch your child anywhere for up to 2 hours at a time.
What happens after 2 hours?
For $100 more, you can get a smart monitor which has the ability to swivel and move around the room. This is an item I really think is going to be important in the future. This is an oximeter through your iPhone and the internet.
Gives your pulse rate and your oxygen levels.
Correct, on this device.
Well, what about your blood pressure?
We have another device for $99. It's a wireless armband that gives you blood pressure. So this is a second device that can be reported to your doctor. The Philips Hue products, which are colored lights that are controllable from your iPhone and iPad, they now make a color strip that allows you to program and control multiple colors on the strip over time.
My dream has always been to find a way to hang holiday lights once and then
There you go.
change the
Brilliant.
color effect depending on which holiday.
Program it for green and red for Christmas and wrap it around the tree.
Orange for Halloween.
There you go.
Green for St. Patrick's Day.
I like it, Scott. You're thinking. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see you next time.